Mm. Awesome, awesome. Some people dripping in. Anna, glad to see you as well. Mark as well. Just to quickly note, by the way, also for everyone here, this is obviously the free weekly call, right? It's kind of like a bonus for all the paid members that we have. But just to know, because I didn't see you, Mark or Anna, in the paid ones. So just to kind of quickly note that. But glad to see you here. Glad you can make it. So yeah, pretty much these calls are very, very laid back. They're nothing like the ones that we have in the private community. But this is more like a laid back, chill session. Pretty much go through a couple of pages, and yeah, if you guys have any questions, shoot. All right. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I lost you.
Awesome. Mm, mm, mm.
Alex, do you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Nice. I wanted to ask, so I'm still like going through the tutorials, the videos and everything. I haven't started yet on building the Instagram page. I should wait till I'm done with all those videos to start building the Instagram page, you think?
Yeah, so basically the videos in the course, they go hand in hand with you starting this. So in the videos there will be like a point where you can start this when like you know enough for it. So you always want to like progress hand in hand, because technically if you consume all the modules within a day, like 2-3 hours you just spend on it, like obviously it's new information for you. What I would honestly do if I were you is just simply watch the videos, get an understanding, watch them again, right? And then from there implement them while watching. I always implement while I'm watching because that's how I learn. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like every single video you watch, you want to implement, but obviously you want to get an understanding of it, right? Let's say you watch a video about a username and you make your page, and then you only work on your username for one day, and then the page is there, but there's no content, there's no nothing except the username because you watched it. Doesn't really make sense. Like when you launch your page, you want to flow with it, right? And pretty much we cover this within the, the pay program you're in as well. That like you will see it, that even within like one freaking how do you say that? Even within like one video, all of them are discussed, right? So within one video, you could technically start your page. But the idea is that you do want to get some inspiration and you simply just want to start, right? Like the whole point of like this business is that you are able to fail very, very easily. So the thing is you can start your second page the week after as well, right? But the whole point is that you watch the videos, you implement, you get feedback from the community, and then from there you do it better, right? The quicker you can make that loop spin, the easier it will become for you to succeed with this. It's pretty much with anything, right? Why do people love coaches, also in football, soccer, whatever? Well, the feedback loop is very, very good, right? What happens when you play at Barcelona? The feedback loop is going to be very intense, right? Every move you make, every step you make, every mistake you make, they're going to literally be on your ass. So again, it's the feedback loop, right? The quicker that loop can go around, the more quicker you can grow and the bigger you can grow and whatever you want to call it, really. But that's the whole thing, right? And that's the too bad side about Barcelona. If you make two mistakes, you're out, right? You have like a billion other people lined up to basically take the shot. But the whole point is that those people get paid so much as well because they can spot those mistakes, right? And that's what I can do. You have to do, and then I have to look and I have to spot the mistakes and give you feedback. But without you actually asking me feedback, I can't give any feedback, right? Like there's an interaction that's needed because
Right.
unfortunately we're not at the same training complex, but it's real life. So hopefully that
Okay.
makes sense to you.
Yes. And the other sessions then, like which are on Monday and Friday, is that right?
We have Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, right? You have
Okay.
extra ones. This is the free one, right? Obviously, Roy, super glad you could make it as well. Roy is a potential candidate to join the private program, right? Which Mark and Anna here are actually in, and Jens. And yeah, basically, Mark, you have like different calls, 3 extra ones a week, where we go like a lot more deeper into this. This is more like a Q&A type scenario. I can cover a few details, a few topics, but I don't want to dive super deep into anything just because, well, for you we can, but obviously for this call, for other people here as well, like it doesn't make too much sense. But pretty much what I would really recommend you do, pretty much what we discussed like when we onboarded, go to the one-on-one channel. There's a video there explaining everything to you with all the steps, everything that you need to do, and just go through that again and again and again and see if you missed.
Okay.
Because all the information is there, right? Also for the weekly calls, when they
Yes.
are, how you can join them, etc., etc., etc.
All right.
So yeah,
Great. Thank you,
like you want to
Alex.
use the Discord,
Yes.
like bump all your questions. Like don't be afraid to ask questions. Same for you, Anna. If you have any questions, drop them in the Discord straight away. Right? The more you can show your face there, the quicker you can grow really in the community chat, right? Not the one-on-one. The one-on-one is only for urgent things and like very big questions personalized, but the community chat is all for, you know, encouragement and uplifting, but not in the school community, right? School community is free. The community you guys are in is paid. Caesar said, how much is your one-on-one mentorship? Yeah, so it ranges between 1K going all the way up to 10K. They're all one-time investments. I don't really like to charge monthly for something. I would rather have like one big commitment from someone just because I can really count on them as well. And besides that, the goal of the coaching itself is that I can only take on 10 people a month personally every single month. I can't take on more than 10 people just because I can't handle it. Mark and Anna probably saw it in Jens as well that I do pretty much a lot one-on-one within it. So the point is that, I've limited time, unfortunately, and my goal eventually is to be able to partner with Jens, Mark, Anna, etc. Right? Partner as in they're making 5K a month, 10K a month, whatever. And that's a moment when we can decide to partner up, which means that I can bring them to 50K or 100K a month. And those are like the levels that we want to shoot for. But like that's where the real leverage is, finding like getting people in within the coaching, cherry picking the best ones out of it as well, and then discovering that through going through the journey. So yeah, those are pretty much the ranges. And then you have the school community, right? There's people that literally made a few thousand just from this free information on school. Like, I don't really give a shit about what route you go for with everything, right? If you go to YouTube, if you go to the pay program, whatever. But what I do give a shit about is that you make a decision that you want to make, right? If you feel like you need one-on-one, if you feel like you need coaching, but fear is holding you back, this whole journey isn't even for you, right? Because there's so many fears that we have to break through. Um, so yeah, that's at least my perspective and my opinion. I can definitely understand that at the beginning it's hard, but you have to make a choice. You can also try yourself for a certain amount of months. You will walk into things and maybe you'll succeed with it. Right? I tried a lot myself, but eventually there's just certain things that actually save you more money than it actually costs in regards to time, because you have two currencies, right? Time and money, and those are the only two that really matter. And at least for me, it's only time. But when you don't have a lot of money, time becomes your main currency. When you have a lot of time, or sorry, when you have less time and you have a lot of money, then obviously money becomes your main currency. So it's a balance, right? So yeah. Any other questions? Oh yeah, I see feedback on my page. I plan on deleting the account before creating a new one. Okay, cool. We'll do some page analysis now. Let's see. Why do you want to delete your page, Caesar? Okay. There's definitely like one big mistake that I see, and it's the fear of innovation or the not understanding of what you can innovate to. What I mean with that is like you've been doing pretty much the same since the start. I'm not sure how many viral videos there have been, but the thing is when your page is in such a like, you know, like baseline line. I don't even know how you call that, but like if your page is literally like this, it doesn't go up or go down. I wouldn't say it's dead, but you know, it's really telling you that you really, really need to innovate, especially within your niche. The engagement ain't there. To me, it's dead completely. I mean, I don't really think it's dead. I think you just don't know how to innovate. And that's just being transparent with you, right? Like you can definitely say if something is dead if there are no engagement fluctuations, right? So let's say you have like a post that you just posted that it's pretty much the same amount of views as the other ones, which actually is the case right now. Yeah, it's definitely dead, but there's still fluctuations. There's minor ones, but you can see it, right? Take a look at this, 600, and then you have 300. That's nearly 50%. 50% difference. If you just talk in percentages, not numbers, right? That's what you always want to talk about with the fluctuations in percentages. Here, same thing, 900, right? Let's look at the likes. Okay, 20 likes is the lowest so far. Okay, we already got 44, 54, 60, right? It's nearly 3x. So my whole point is that you just don't know what to innovate to in regards to content. So let me quickly pull up your most viral content. Give me 1 second. This is an app, by the way, that all the paid clients use as well. You guys can also use it. It's basically like 10, 20 bucks a month. And you can put a page in it and it basically just ranks the whole page from like the most viral videos to the least viral. So it's pretty nice. You can also do it in certain time frames. Just allows you to give like a quick overview of it since I can't really scroll back in 900 posts. But I do agree with you, Caesar, like you've definitely okay, let me just like map out the pros and cons. Pros are you are an absolute fucking consistent killer. Point number one. Point number two is your innovation sucks. You either aren't creative or you're just afraid of not trying new things, right? Letting go of like what you've already been doing. So what I would really suggest you do, especially after this call, is try to go within your niche. Let me quickly actually first go into your most viral videos just because I can get a better understanding of it. Okay, cool. Damn, nothing really went viral for you. That's pretty crazy. I'm not sure if that's even accurate, but I'm not sure if you can see Caesar. I think you can in the app. If you can rank like all your posts from like least viral or sorry, most viral to least viral, and just maybe send over the one that was most viral. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, if you can send it over, that would be absolutely perfect just to make my advice a little bit more accurate. Because I'm not sure exactly why it isn't working. But yeah, basically, what you then want to do, especially for innovation, is you want to look at like your least viral one and most viral one and a few in between, right? You want to get like a full page spectrum. And from there, you can try to innovate, right? Well, what do you see? Like, think very, very simply. What do you see? What are the graphics? What is the text? What is the audio? Like the whole shebang, basically. And then from there, it becomes super easy to do research, right? So obviously, for all of you guys here, you want to research. So you can actually make like spam accounts on Instagram, or research accounts, right? You can just simply make a new email, make a new account, and simply train the whole account to show you certain pieces of content. So let me just quickly explain this to you. On Instagram, you can go on it in two ways, right? Mobile, desktop. Ideally for research, for specific research, you want to try to go for the desktop. At least that's my personal preference because I can move quicker. But let's say you're working in your 9 to 5 job, you can still do research every single moment of the day. Because all you have to do is just do your old habits, right? Pull up your phone, start scrolling. But now you do targeted scrolling. This means that you always keep in your mind, what I'm looking for, right? And this is formed based on the understanding of what you want to do yourself with your content. So like step one is to try to do research, try to get new people, new information into your brain, right? That you like expand your horizon pretty much. And like a more of a conscious awareness state, if that makes sense. It's very weird to say that, but like basically spread your horizon with like pages you want and that are out there big, small, medium, whatever. Collect a whole bunch of them, collect the content, collect whatever you see that you like, right? A very simple approach to it is actually start humming, right? So what I mean with humming is, let's say I go through this page and then I'm literally like, hmm, 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 right? That literally tells me, oh, I like this content or I simply don't, right? So first you obviously want to pick a niche and that's all the basics. Then once you've done that, you want to actually go into Instagram and try to do research. At the beginning, it will be hard to find your first couple of accounts. That's why it's good to have people around you like us to just send you stuff. But what I actually will, let me think if I will do it. Yeah, fuck it, why not? Let me see. IT Consulting. What was it again? What was it again? Shout out lists. No. Sheets. No, it was pages. Okay, let me quickly check myself. What I'll do is I'll give you guys a sheet that has a few thousand pages in it that you can use for research in all the other niches. So it becomes a lot easier for you. Yeah, here, market research doc. I think this is it. Okay, perfect. So this is a document that you can basically use. It also like shows the prices for the shout outs. So it's kind of like a shout out document, but it's pretty cool. You can even see the insights of WorldStar, right? It's a very, very big account. You can see the insights of Puberty, a whole bunch of different ones. So I'll just drop this in the school community. It's very valuable, but you can use these usernames as kind of like a how do you say that? A way to pretty much find pages at the beginning stages. But a very simple approach is to find one page, and then it's very easy to find 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like a rabbit hole, right? You just have to find the first rabbit, and then from there, you'll find the whole freaking colony. So pretty much how you do that is by simply pressing on this thing on the top right. So pretty much if you click on that, if it does show for you on your phone or on your computer, you can actually click on it. And what will happen is there will be a whole bunch of different pages shown to you there. These are called like your recommended pages, right? This means these are all pages highly likely to be similar to this one, right? So if I go to one of my pages, or one of my other pages, right? If I just look at one of these 2 pages of mine, I can see that if I click on the recommended tab, there will be accounts in there that will be very, very similar to what I exactly do, right? This was actually a client of mine, funny enough, but he does have similar content, right? So the whole point is that it becomes very easy to be able to find these pages once you just find one of them, right? Same thing here. If you go to this page of mine, you can find other similar pages in here too, that are pretty much like similar to the content, right? So long story short, you want to find one page, then you want to get inspiration. So let's say I'm doing market research right now, and I'm like, no, I don't really like this style content. Do I like these videos? I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, maybe. You know, you really want to try and like expand your horizon, especially at the start with content in general. Like it becomes so freaking important, right? And then from there, once you've done that, or especially Anna, Mark here, choose a couple of pages and try to have 3 content pillars at maximum, right? So for example, this page of mine, right? It has 3 content pillars: mindset, entrepreneurship, business, but it also talks about news, politics, etc., right? So if you, for example, look here, these videos are a little bit random as well, but like the main like threads through it is pretty much like politics, news, tech, celebrities, and yeah, that's majority of it. A little bit of business, less mindset, but at the beginning it was a lot more mindset, right? So that's kind of like the whole theme of this account, your theme will definitely change over time. Like at the beginning, it may be completely around cars, and then slowly it will go completely in an opposite direction. That's completely fine. So then to come back to your page, Caesar, I'm not sure where your most viral piece of content is, but what I would suggest you do is try to like go to these suggested pages and also try to expand your horizon a little bit with content that you can make. You also sent this page that you really like this content. Let me see. Yeah, so the thing is with your content, a lot of this dark type of theme stuff works pretty well. I think that could definitely be like a very good thing for you to go more into the like the dark side angle. I would even like maybe change I would actually keep the logo the same. I was actually going to propose the opposite colors, but I would look into content. This is a very key thing for you. Try to look into pieces of content and have like the dark vibe type of feeling, and then try to experiment with different styles. For example, this one, you've been using the same fucking text for so long, right? Probably also the same captions or same style of captions. Try to switch it up, right? Your challenge isn't that your page is dead, because it's just 9 out of 10 times it's an excuse. You've already built up something amazing. You are a killer in consistency. Don't put yourself down because you don't see immediate success with instant gratification. Try to expand your horizon a little bit and start experimenting, right? Use the same principles as you choosing content before. Or, sorry, let me take that back. Try to reshape and relearn the way you choose your content, the way you choose your quotes, right? Because obviously all of this stuff wasn't as viral as before. For example, here as well, life is a paradise of endless possibilities. Like, I get what you're doing, but it's very fucking boring. There are so many quote pages out there on the internet that literally post the same. These quotes, they look as if they've literally been found on the internet and just put on a video, right? So with your research, you actually want to research, right? You want to research quote. You want to go into quote pages. You want to understand the emotion behind the quote. Is it like a success quote? Is it an emotional quote, an educational quote, right? Like, go into it. A relationship quote, right? So this is actually one of my pages. Wisdom. It's a very cool name. But where we find our quotes is not on the internet, right? We find it on the same platform or on a different platform, right? Like TikTok or Instagram itself. So as you can see here, the audio, the visual, and the quotes, they all connect together. So if you just look at like this text, just look at the text. The text has literally been gotten from a different profile, right? It's just simply copy pasted, right? And then over time, I can see the nuances between the worst performing ones and the best performing ones to compare the virality level, if that makes sense, and to also dive deeper and to make like get a more specific understanding of what quotes work for me. So what words are being used? How is it being expressed? Where did I get it from, right? So let's say something goes viral. All you want to do is just go back into your research and try to revisit it. Which page did you get it from? When did you get it? How viral was it, right? All these different questions. And then from there, it becomes super easy for you to continue to grow. Same thing with you. You probably never actually asked yourself and went back honestly to your own content and you were like, I don't think this works, right? Because if your content sucks, it literally says to you, you need to do something else, right? And what you've been trying to do is make something work that doesn't work too well, right? It's like, it's like you having like a super old car and you're just trying to replace all the parts bit by bit and they break week to week instead of just buying a fucking new car, right? Like, you just got to innovate, man. So long story short for you, try to expand your horizon a little bit with content. Go into the school community since you're in like the free part, right? And do your research. Maybe even record videos for me or make a document which I can go through that might like helping you a little bit with it. But expand, expand with your content, expand with your ideas, expand with the style, expand with everything. But your research really needs to be better. Where do you get it from and why? Those are the two biggest questions, right? Where do you get it from and why? Because we don't want to reinvent the wheel here, right? We don't want to try a whole bunch of different things out by ourselves at the beginning. We want to have like a baseline strategy of things that already worked before, and then combine it with something creative that we thought of ourselves. So did that make sense to you, Caesar? I have to check the chat, and then we'll move towards Anna's question. And your question as well, Caesar, with the pricing of the program. Yeah, there's definitely a very big difference between 1K and 10K. If you want to, I can send you over an offer sheet, which pretty much explains the difference. And I don't mind hopping on a call with you personally to just like walk you through it as well. But really feel out if it makes sense for you, right? Like, just because I told you to innovate and you get excited, don't join my program if that's like the main reason, right? Join it because you really, really need help. But more importantly, you really want to do this long term. There's so many people that fall off and that I don't accept because they don't want to do shit for the long term, right? They basically do it for instant gratification, right? The Lamborghini guys. So yeah, I'll definitely send you stuff over if you'd like to. So let me quickly see. I'm having trouble choosing on what niche should I start. Travel, food, or motivational quotes? Is it possible to do all three in different pages? What would you suggest? Great question. Great question, Anna. Reason being is because so many people have the same doubts as you right now, and that is completely fine. So pretty much let's dive into it, right? Let me quickly pull up a whiteboard and a way to choose your niche that I made before. So if you're doubtful between different niches, that's completely fine, right? But you never want to try to limit yourself in thinking. What stops you from making a travel page in the future if you make a motivational quotes one right now, right? You really want to see this as a journey, and the goal has to be to take action on things, right? Your goal shouldn't be to find the best niche. It should literally be to just do, post a content piece, start this, do research. Those are your goals. It's not 10K amount, 100K followers, etc. That's all a byproduct of the actions you take, right? That's been like my biggest mental shift with growing my business as well. Like at the beginning, it was so goal oriented towards money. And then when it shifted to the actions became the goal every day. I woke up and the first thing I thought about is not, oh, I want to make this amount of money. It was the actions, right? Same thing in the gym. If you want to like, I don't know, get a six pack in X, Y, and Z time frame, you're not going to be thinking of the six pack every single day. Like it's very, very bad to do that. The reason being is because when you think about a six pack or 10K a month or having the best niche or whatever, you limit yourself completely because in a way you're telling yourself that you don't have it yet. And take every single day reminding yourself that you haven't done it yet, right? You're putting yourself down instead of being like, what do I need to do to get there? And those become your goals. Because if you put your mind towards something that you can control, it becomes so nice just flowing through it, right? You will always be having that goal of like that certain amount, but try to have like 99% of your thinking power towards those daily actions. It is so important because the frustration comes not from you thinking about 10K a month every day or the best niche, but it becomes from you not knowing the direction, right? Not knowing what steps and actions to take on a daily basis. So pretty much to go into it and not to go too deep into the mindset part because we do that enough. Let me share my screen with you 1 sec.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally, Anna. And no, it's completely normal. You know, everything that you guys are going through as well, it's completely normal. But you know, you really have to just do. Like for me, the same thing. Like I wake up every day and my goal is to just do something. And that's why I also like plan my tomorrow today, right? It's such a cool concept. Plan today, or sorry, plan tomorrow today. And it becomes super easy for you to just execute. So this is my whole whiteboard. There's a lot of information here, also a bit of private stuff, but I sometimes take notes here. So I'm just gonna try to find the niche flow. Oh yeah, here are all the notes. Yeah, how to choose your niche. So hopefully you can see this in the correct format. So pretty much you start here. First, you ask yourself, do you want to make something that you're passionate about? If it's a yes or a no, if it's a yes, okay, cool. What topics are you passionate about? Here are a few examples: health, wealth, relationship. Then you go back, you do market research, like I just discussed at the beginning of the call, right? Then once you've done market research, you move here and you start your page. It's a very simplistic process, But let's say you don't want to make something that you're passionate about, right? You're in this for the money. That's also completely fine. Like motivations are all different. There's no judgment whatsoever. So let's say you want to do something else that you're not passionate about, right? Do you know what to sell? No? Yes? Okay, cool. If you don't know what to sell, do market research and then go back again and start again. If you do know what to sell, then start your page. Reason why I'm saying this is because you can start your page in two ways. First one is with the passion in mind, right? You don't know exactly what you're going to do in this journey. You don't know exactly how it's going to play out. You're very much in the learning and discovering phase, right? 9 out of 10 people, they are in that phase. It brings a lot of insecurity and fear, but it is super key to just choose a niche that you're passionate about, right? How do you find your passion? Well, it's pretty simple. Go into Instagram, go into YouTube, go into Netflix, go into your favorite movie list and try to find a common thread in what you consume most, right? Where do you love to spend your time? What content do you love to see? Even the best trick is to literally go to your phone, tap on the explore page, right? Where you have like all the posts where you can research into an account, where you can type in a name of someone that you look up, right? If you don't look them up, if you just press on like the search button, you get a whole explore page. So I'll quickly show you guys if you don't know what the explore page is on Instagram. So the explore page is made out of content that you consume most, right? So let's say I go to my page here, right? This is my personal page. So let's say I go to my page and I click on, let me quickly draw 1 sec. I click on this thingy right here, right? That like magnifying glass thingy. That is your explore page. So if I click on that once, right? I can also search people up at the top, right? I actually search our own company account with all the reviews. Little side promo. Um, but if you go to the explore page itself, you can find all the content here, right? This is not randomized content. This is all personalized content. This is all based around what you consume most, right? So let's say I want to see more of this type of content. All I simply can do is just click on it and scroll down. See? Boom, 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 right? This is kind of like a a mini algorithm within the explore page that you can train, right? So how do you train it? Is by simply scrolling through here, saying, oh shit, I really love this content. I like it, I save it, I comment under it, I engage with it, right? The algorithm is made up out of engagement. If they see that I take an action, right, to do something, they're gonna like reward, do something back, right? It's like an exchange that's happening constantly. So let's say you scroll down, you consume more of the same content. Then if you go up and you just refresh your page, you will see more of the same content. This will take like 1 to 3 days, but your entire explore page could be filled instantly with all kinds of content, right? So what Instagram tries to do is the goal is to keep you on the platform longer. That's why you see such a diversity in like all these content pieces here, right? You see like burnout can look like, I think burnout is bullshit, but it's just my opinion. You see fitness, you see a very, very hot model probably, you see fitness again, you see motivational, you see celebrity, right? There's so much diversity. This means I have not trained my explore page enough yet, right? I don't care about this explore page because it's my personal account. I don't use it for research, but let's say I do, right? Then I want to go into the content. I want to scroll more of the same thing, and then I'll see it over time, right? If your explore page is a mess, it's an indication that you haven't trained it yet in a proper way to show the content you need to see, right? If I see a specific video I like someone's page, can I possibly steal it? Is it allowed how to transfer the video? Do I need specific system to use transfer on my page or simply save it? Yeah, great question. With content, you can do it in pretty much two ways. You can simply repost it, which I wouldn't recommend, but you can also remake it. So remaking it, there's an entire video in the weekly meeting replay that you can actually go back to, Anna, in like the program. You go to the members area, there's weekly meeting replays, there's like an entire video how we explain like how to download these videos, how to pick them, etc. Because you're in the technicality and like again discovering phase right now. It's completely fine, right? But the whole point eventually, which we really want to try to transition to ASAP, is you putting more effort and brain power towards which content do I post instead of how do I post the content, right? The technicalities you'll learn them, right? Once you learn them, once you try them, you master them. But then it becomes to do with quality. How do you actually choose it, right? It's the same thing with like ads, advertisements. Let's say you want to become the best marketer on Facebook in the world. It's not about you actually pressing start, paying them, and running an ad. It's about the type of ads you run, the visuals. That's what it's about. And to who? AKA, same with this. What content do you post? Why? How do you choose it, right? That becomes eventually the second like challenge, so to say, for you. The first one is to just learn a little bit of the technicalities and experiment. Be okay to fail, right? We all have a fear of failure, in my opinion. I have it too. But I can definitely say that once I changed my own approach to actually laughing at it, it became so much more nice. You know, like me laughing, I'm like, ah, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm just doing and I'm loving it, right? That's what we need. We need to just freaking do it and then post it. And then if it flops, laugh at it flopping, being like, oh yeah, well, that was funny. I now know that that shit doesn't work, right? And you guys have me to just walk you through it. So that's the perfect thing. But without you guys doing something, I can't do shit as well, right? I can just blabber to you guys the whole day long about algorithms and whatever. But if there's nothing specific I can look at that you actually did, that you failed at or succeeded at, doesn't matter, then we can't make progress. Specific, personalized progress, right? So the game is about doing, and it will over time like compound with a compound effect, but just start doing little things, right? Start your account today, make your email tomorrow, right? Choose your colors the day afterwards. Go through these and these videos in the course the day afterwards. Go to the gym a little bit more consistently. All these habits will start stacking up and it will become so freaking easy for you to just launch your page, right? Because for most of the people that use social media, there's a big comparison subconsciously that we all do, right? For example, for me, I'm logged out of my personal account completely. I don't look at my so to say friends here in the neighborhood. I don't look at that anymore. Why? Because I don't give a shit about it. It was all to do with comparison and oh oh let's see what Anna is up to today. You know, like no. If I really cared about what Anna was up to, I just called her and just asked her. Right. So yeah, it's another story. But pretty much to come back on topic, you can train your explore page, and this is pretty much like how you do it. But eventually you want to try and find a couple of these pages. You want to go into them. So let's say I find this page on the explore page. You can go here, you can engage with the content, you can even follow it. You can click on that little icon thingy on the right that you see. You can see more pages of the same thing. You can follow more people. It's like a rabbit hole. At the beginning, you really want to expand your horizon. You want to feel completely overwhelmed, completely lost. And that's exactly the moment when you will be found. So the thing is with, you know, all these pages, they're posting content, but they're posting different content. And that's the goal for you, right? Especially at the start, if you don't know exactly what you want to post, just think limitless, right? Let's say you could post anything, you could make anything, think limitless, and then figure out what you collect it by saving the content. So you see this little save thingy on the bottom right. You can just press save. And then what you can do in your account is pretty much go on the top right. Oh, settings and activity, and then you could just simply click on saved on the top and you can see all the content you saved. You can even make folders, right? Folder for, let's say, research for page. Like there's so many cool things that you can do with it. Then when you create like your new account, I'll just cover like one basic principle is to pretty much create a creator account, right? So how do you do that? Is by going to creator and controls. And then if you go down, you will see switch account type. You have three types of accounts on Instagram. You have personal, business, and creator, right? Business is for businesses, personal is for personal, and creator is for us because we are fucking creators, right? We create content, we want to grow, we want to expand, we want to use this shit differently. So we're not consumers, we're producers. So pretty much you're a creator, you click it, and then a whole bunch of shit changes in your settings. But long story short, it becomes easy for you to just make your page, go into the explore page. There's more features, there's a whole bunch of different things. But again, to come back on topic, you go into here, you train it by engaging with content. I won't go too deep into like how you choose the content today because there's a lot of info towards that. But you have the info, Anna. So pretty much for you, I would honestly pick one of the three. I can't make the decision for you, unfortunately. But what I would do is I would go into your explore pages that you have currently on your pages, personal page or whatever, and I would try to look at the the majority of the posts, right? What are the majority of the posts? Are they more towards the travel side? Are they more towards the motivational quote side? Are they more towards, what was the other one that you wanted? The food side, right? What do you like most, right? That's what I would stick to. It doesn't matter in terms of like people, competitors, whatever. We don't want to think about that at all, because if you start thinking about other people again, right, that's what we've been trained to do through using this fucking app, right? Like, oh, let's say I start a travel page, but yeah, how will I do it with all these big pages out there? Yeah, no, I won't become successful because yeah, there are so many people already, and blah 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 blah. So many excuses, right? The whole point with it is pretty much that there are 4.4 billion active users on Instagram every single day. If there's a page with 1 million followers in the travel niche, it's like a fucking breadcrumb of a breadcrumb of a breadcrumb. Like it is so minuscule and it might look like a lot, but it really isn't. So once you shift your mindset towards you actually becoming the best, right? 99% of these pages, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. This means that you guys have an advantage for obviously having the right information in front of your face, but you guys have such a massive advantage to be able to scale it, right? But like the biggest thing that holds people back at the beginning of this, it's not the information, it's the self in combination with implementation, right? Implementation, you sabotage yourself. So pretty much to call the shots for you, Anna, start one of those 3 pages in a niche, set a goal for yourself. The community is meant to be used to set accountability, to set goals for yourself within it. An example is, this is called accountability, right? Public accountability. It works so well with other people in a community, but not with your family members. So reason being is because when you do it in the public community, there are people there, including in our private community, our most successful client, who makes $1 million a year from this business model, and he only has a few thousand followers, right? I won't explain too much about it now, but maybe in like a future call. But pretty much, you do not want to let that like person, so to say, down, right? The standards in a community like that are fucking high. This means you setting an accountability in a way of saying, my name is Alex. I'm going to choose my niche today, right? Attach a time frame to it as well. And if I don't do it, I will do an ice bucket challenge in my underwear outside, and I will record it and send it over to you guys for proof. This is exactly what we did. Exactly, right? You can go into the accountability tab in the community. I'll actually like show you guys now a little sneak peek of the private community. But if you scroll up, you can literally find a video of me fucking doing that. Because there was a time where I struggled with new things as well, right? Starting new things or like challenges or whatever I was facing at that time. But again, long story short, I had to do it, right? So you set your own challenge, right? No one has to do it for you. No one can say it for you. No one can like, push you through it. So if I scroll up a little bit, that will be like a billion push-ups from Ollie, which I absolutely loved as well. Should be one video here. Yeah, this was a 6 a.m. ice bucket challenge. Or at least cold plunge thingy. But it was nothing compared to the one outside. Yeah, I'll show you guys. This was a long time ago though. And this works so freaking well. Let me see. Strange. No, I can't find the video. Okay, then we'll have to look in the general chat. Sorry, guys, I really have to show you guys this. Let's see, pins, MP4. No. No. Okay, let's see. I won't search for it too long because there's a lot of pages here. 2022. Jeez, that was a time. Waited calls going for ages. Next. Oh, well, there's this one video. I'm not sure where I sent it exactly. I thought it was in this chat, but it was basically a video of, again, me standing outside and having to throw that like ice bucket over my head just because I wasn't doing a certain challenge or a certain task, sorry, that I set for myself. Ah, okay, I'll look for in this channel and then I'll give up the search. Same thing with this, right? Like goals, just like expressing your goals every day, what you want to achieve for that day. And then again, it becomes super easy for us to also just guide you through stuff because we can literally just see what you've done that day as well. Yeah, I think it should be here, honestly. I think this was the old accountability one. Yeah, it should be here. But yeah, this is pretty much like the other side of it, right? Like the business, it's fairly simple. You just don't simply know what actions to take to get a certain result. That's what you have to learn, the technical side. But the more advanced side is always about like why. You know, why do you do what you do? Why don't you do certain tasks, etc., etc., etc. Sorry, guys, just let me check. Not sure if you guys spotted the video though. Oh well, if I can't find it, I can't find it, but I'll definitely prepare it for the next call. Oh yeah, I think, yeah, look at this. This was a video one of the community members created as well. I just want to show this one and then we'll continue. And the reason why they made it as well was because they were actually practicing with editing, right? So this is another way. He said like, Alex, can I just use some of your clips, whatever? I was like, yeah, sure, man, go ahead. But then I told him, this is a timeline, you have to do it then, blah, 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 blah. And then he did it. And yeah, that's a fun video, but the whole goal is to just practice, right? The goal is to edit 20 videos a day, for example. So let's say to come back to Anna's question, because there's been a couple of more. Let me see. Yeah, in terms of pricing, there's definitely a difference. I'll send that over to you. Then if I see a specific video, like someone's page, steal that. Yeah, pretty much answer that. I think it's just a matter of how to start and when to start. Once I get the hang of it, I think everything will follow. And yeah, so pretty much the like most simplistic version for you, Anna. Go into the course, watch a couple of the intro videos, implement what has been said in those videos in the best way you can. If you can't, leave it, ask a question about it, or express your struggles, because it's very hard for a person to keep everything in their own mind, right? It will fucking bottle up and then suddenly it will explode in one shape or form, right? Maybe in the workouts, maybe in work, maybe in family, maybe in relationships. So the nice thing about the community is that you can kind of unload your frustrations and things that you're struggling with, so we can actually help you, right? So that is something that you just naturally have to kind of flow into. So pretty much go to the course, implement what you can. If you have questions or things or struggles, drop it in the general chat. The more active you become, the more people see that you want this, right? You want the consistency. You are consistent. You really, really want to do what you want to make, right? And once people see that, they are open to help. People don't want to help people who go in from time to time and they're not consistent, because then it doesn't feel like the help they're giving is actually paying off, if that makes sense. So again, the more consistent you are, the more expressive you are, the more you share with people, especially in the private community, the more they can help you move forward as well, including me, right? I have to see something and then I can react and then I can help you, instead of being like, so what can I help you with today, Anna? Right? Like it's the other way around. So pretty much that. Then make a new Gmail, right? Then start a new Instagram account. Then go into the Google Sheet that I will share with you on today's call. I'll also send it to you on WhatsApp. Go into it, find a couple of pages in your niche, or if you can find it yourself, even more perfect, because then it's like more real. It's more like, you found it yourself. It's more real. It's more a good, better way of learning, in my opinion. Then go into the pages, look at content you like, dislike the content you don't like, save it, bring it to the community, express your thoughts, what you gathered, and say, I want a page like this and this and this. How can I do that? We will refer you to certain videos. Maybe you already find the answer by just going through the videos every day, and set the goal for yourself every single day to just consume 2 videos and do one action that is completely new. So set like a certain goal and express that publicly in the community. Express what you're going through, express what you're feeling, and publicly just say, this is what I'm going to do, right? The goal becomes the action. And once you make that shift, I think everything will indeed naturally flow. But if the goal becomes trying to figure everything out when it's the best, nothing will happen, nothing will flow. Then it again starts like a bottleneck. You need to let it out, right? So once you just turn that tap, right, little by little, let a little bit of water drip out, eventually you can turn it more and more and more and more, and then the whole fucking tsunami will be there. So, can those 3 topics, health, wealth, relationship, be the 3 pillars of self-improvement page? No, too wide, too wide. So you want to go a little bit more specific, one topic, and then under the topic, you can have subtopics, right? So you have health, you can also have mindset in health, right? That's a very big part to it too. You can have personal training, you can have food, you can have gym, you can have workouts, you can have bodybuilders, you can have people who weight loss, right? Women who are trying to lose weight. There are so many subcategories and niches. Then one tool I want to give you that can really help answer your questions is Mr. ChatGPT, right? I've been using it pretty much a lot as well. If I have thoughts, if I have things that I can't figure out, I just go into it, I ask it a question, and I get it answered. I want to show you one thing as well for everyone here. They actually released this like, I don't know, a week ago in ChatGPT on their app on their phone, and it is so freaking cool. So pretty much if you go to your phone, right? Okay, so you go to your phone, right? This is my phone. And then what you do is you have to go to the App Store on your iPhone, right? Then pretty much if you go to the App Store on your iPhone, you need to download the app called ChatGPT. So if you go in here, ChatGPT, and then it's the white one, this one, right? Then you go into it. So I open up the app called ChatGPT. And now in here, they released this feature on the bottom right that you can actually have a live call with the bot itself. So if I click on this right now, this headphone thingy. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you today?
I'm doing freaking amazing. How do I choose my niche on Instagram?
That's great to hear. Choosing your niche on Instagram involves a few steps. First, think about what you're passionate about or have expertise in. Next, consider your target audience and what they might be interested in.
Shut up, man. I'm here to coach. So pretty much you can have a whole conversation with this thing, and it's pretty cool. You can also just simply type in the questions, but it can be like a boost in combination with me, right? Because for me, it's very easy for me to look at a page and say, this works, this doesn't work, try this, rather than having to explain the whole freaking journey to you again. Like I want to be productive with my advice as well. So you can use ChatGPT in combination with the course, in combination with this, pretty much help, and the community. So your assets, you really want to like be grateful of those assets, but really use them every day as well. Have a goal to use your community once a day, right? Can be a message, can be an emoji, can be something that you do and say in it. Then second is the course, right? Go through one video every day. Set that as a goal. Then ChatGPT could even be help. Ask one question that you've been freaking having on your mind 24/7 to ChatGPT, and also drop it in the community. And then maybe the last part is these calls, right? So eventually like this will all create the momentum for you. But once you like keep it in yourself a lot, it will bottle up and then bleh. And that's why people quit, right? Like they have coaches and they have people that supposedly help them, but they don't help them, right? They don't provide direction. They just say, do this, and that's it. And, you know, there's so much more to it. Humans are complex, but simple. You know, especially with achievements and goals, it's a lot more simple, but it's not easy, right? And the easy part makes it easy by having people around you to like, you know, push you in the right direction based on you. So pretty much, that's what I would do. There was a white bucket up there, mate. Ah, shit, Joseph. I didn't see your message, but and which chat was it on Discord? Because now I want to find it, man.
Alex, can I clear that up a bit regarding the three
Shoot.
topics? 'Cause you said like if you, for example, choose mindset, that still can incorporate, of course, health, like mental health. That incorporates wealth,
Yeah,
and of course, like incorporates anything. So it means like you just don't list. Let's say it's going to be about mindset, right?
yeah,
You don't list the pillars, all the different pillars, but you can still make videos which relate to the different.
you got it.
Um,
Exactly. Exactly. The whole goal is to not
so-
differentiate too much, right? If you choose mindset quotes and then you start suddenly posting about a bodybuilder shouting at a screen, you want to feel it out for yourself as well. Like, this is a very good question for you. Let's say I were to follow my own page as a follower perspective, would I think this is a little bit too weird? If that's a yes, then maybe not do it, right? But the best way to confirm those questions is to have examples, send it in the community, and then we can also simply say yes, no. And then if you understand why yourself, then yeah, you know what to do. But pretty much if you don't, then we can also explain to you like, oh, this is how it works, or this, or this, or this, or this.
Cool. And by that, send it in the one-on-one channel.
I would recommend sending nearly everything in the general chat with everyone there. And if it's like very specific towards you or private or whatever, then you can obviously do it within the one-on-one. Yeah, 100%.
All right.
But the
Awesome.
thing is, ideally, you want to try to use the community a little bit, just because it becomes
Mhm.
more flowy for yourself to do that.
Yeah.
Ah, shit, man. I really want to find that video now. I'm trying to look for it. I'm a person who I want something, I go for it. So yeah, are there any other questions whatsoever? Maybe from your side, Roy?
I'm good. I pretty much will have more questions as when I get started on it. So I'll have more questions then. So
Perfect, man. Perfect. How did you experience your first kind of like overwhelmedness feeling, what we talked about before?
yeah, it's pretty overwhelming. There's a lot of information to take on, but
Yeah.
like I said, uh, I have a habit of overthinking things. So once I get
Mm.
started, I'm pretty sure it's not as bad as it looks. So
Yeah. I mean, it's just the compound effect, and especially for you, and also like I'm exactly the same with overthinking. But what really helps me to decrease overthinking over time is to pretty much like decrease my inputs. So what I mean with inputs is pretty much everything, right? Like music, videos I watch, content I consume, things I see. Try to just limit it for a certain amount of time. Maybe even food, right? Like I eat once a day, like only in the evening, 7 p.m. I don't eat the whole day, right? And it gives me so much clarity. Like I'm sitting here from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. with the same amount of energy. Like it's really, really nice. But it ties back, in my opinion, back to like that inputs type of concept of like the lower inputs you have, the more clearer you can think, right? Like it's pretty logical in a way as well. If you put like 5 kg of food in your fucking body, then yeah, you'll feel pretty shit. It's the same with your brain. But like we've been like, I wouldn't say trained, but like now it's so easy to like overload yourself with everything, which means that when you overload yourself with new things, you want to try to limit all the old things a lot, right? Try to count it, like put that down, so then you can make room for the new things to grow. Because that's exactly what people like quit on as well, right? Like they consume new information. And in my opinion, new information always has like a 10x in inputs. So if you think of it in numbers, then like a 1x normal input for a new type of input, it can be like 10x, 10 stress points, so to say, 10 whatever, right? Think of it as a game, as like a game of stacking, for example, with like the more inputs you get, the worse you will feel. But like the more new ones you will have, the more overwhelmed you become, right? So that's the same thing with me sending you on a trip right now to a country you've never been in. You don't know what the fuck you're going to do. You're going to feel really, really stressed and overthink everything. So in my opinion, that kind of like explains the topic or the theory at least a little bit more. So I think that could be like a good key takeaway for you to like just limit your inputs when you start this and just pick out the things that are relevant to you.
Thank you.
No worries, man. And also like a good way to approach it, at least what I always did was always finishing off whatever I was telling myself or doing or whatever it was with it's okay, right? Let's say you say I'm overthinking, then finish it with it's okay, right? Because it becomes so much more easier to just feel that way because you don't put so much pressure on yourself that you have to be normal or whatever. Because at the end of the day, like being normal or having all these labels with it's all conditioning, you know, it's all conditioning. Even with how you should do your hair or how you should look, like it's all conditioning, right? One example is, let's say people who go to the gym become fat of going to the gym, right? Do you think people would still go to the gym?
No,
No, why not?
because in their mind, they think by going to the gym, they're supposed to look a certain way, like look either buff or toned. But if they see people still leaving the gym fat, but pretty much the same way they arrived,
Mm.
then they're gonna like, well, there's no point in me going to the gym. It's a waste of time and waste of money.
Well, there I caught you in a conditioning because it's a trick question. They would still go to the gym. The reason being is because over time we've put a label towards fat and skinny as good and bad, right? The good and
Hmm.
bad is based off of the feeling the activity gives us. The end result doesn't matter. Us looking a certain way doesn't matter because it's again all labels, right? But if we go back to the source, why do people go to the gym? They feel good afterwards. That feeling of good is associated with losing weight or gaining weight, right? If I, for example, stuff my mouth right now and I gain a lot of weight, then personally I feel drained and frustrated and low in energy, then I'm going to associate that feeling with that activity. But let's say I put a lot of food in my mouth, I feel the best in my entire life, then I would want to do that. Then the label of fat becomes skinny, if that makes sense. So the conditioning is that people think that what they do is to lose weight or to do this, but it's all for a good feeling. It's all for a good feeling. If your feeling is attached to it as a personal experience, you know, that's like where it starts, right? So you can like flip a lot of things also around. Let's say, I don't know, crashing your car in a wall makes you feel amazing and you don't break everything, people would do it daily. Right? It's all to do with these things of that make us feel tremendously amazing. So in my opinion, the goal of life is to try to experience new experiences that level up those standards. Why people always like feel very frustrated and like very bottled down and doing the same old is because they don't level up their experiences. They don't seek for something new, maybe because of fear or routine or whatever it is. But it's in my opinion, life has a lot to do with just evolvement, like constant evolvement, trying a new form of workout, going to a dancing class, right? Like whatever. But in my opinion, people feel shit because of too much inputs, of a shit routine, and a what was the last point I mentioned just now? Um, Constantly doing the same, not a new change. And again, too many inputs. Like it's a vicious cycle. You get too many inputs every day, you consume, etc. So the goal is to either try something new to then break out of it, get excited again, raise your standards again, or to limit all your inputs. And limiting the inputs becomes very hard because, you know, addiction, it's very hard to just, you know, do like put a whole bunch of shit in your body with drugs or whatever, and then wake up the day afterwards and say, I'm gonna quit now. It's harder to quit something bad and start something good. So that's pretty much my perspective on it. That's why like everyone who starts this journey online, I love it so much because the amount of newness that comes from this, it's insane. A lot of personal growth because you use things differently, like you see things differently as well with the algorithm, with content, with everything. People look at this whole business model as like, oh, you start a page about your passion, you make some money, amazing. But it's about so many beliefs that get broken and you raising your experiences using the platform and the device in such a different way. Like it's at least that was what happened for me. And just based off of a few testimonials that we got of people that didn't actually make a single dime, but they still gave me a testimonial 5 minutes, right? Like I was like, when I got that, I was like, what the fuck? I don't understand this. And then I, took a deeper dive and it is again about that feeling, right? Same thing with everyone in the coaching community. If I can give each and every one of them a good feeling, doesn't matter if they make money. And it's a very weird concept to understand. Customer satisfaction, right? So pretty much that's the whole big call for today. I'm not sure if you guys have any other questions or if I missed anything in the Zoom chat. Let's see. But yeah, to pretty much sum it up, Caesar, if you want to learn more about the one-on-one, there is a link in the school community that you can click, and like the homepage of like my YouTube, there's a couple of links there, and there could be a link there with like apply to work one-on-one with me. So you click on that, you can schedule a call. I can also send the offer sheets over to you before. But again, try to ask yourself, why do you even want to join, right? Like, what do you hope to achieve with it? Do you really feel like you really need help, or is it just to gain because of the excitement the call is giving you? Try to analyze that, then schedule a call, then it would make more sense. For Anna, right? Don't try to overthink. Try to make the actions every single day your goal. Every single day, that is your goal. Use what you've been given a lot better and more, right? Let's say you have thoughts in your brain or things that you just want to let them out, right? Express yourself. Do it in the community, do it in a one-on-one, wherever you do it, just, unload. Because otherwise it's going to bottle up and then it becomes a lot of pressure. So again, that pressure leads to high expectations of yourself. So we want to try to limit it all down by letting it out. Again, inputs, outputs, right? If you have too many inputs, not enough outputs, it's going to be like a freaking factory machine that's going to get overheated. So yeah, pretty much I'm coming right now to put some water over it and to say, come on, we're going to put these settings a little bit differently so the machine balances out. So that's what I would do if I were you. And then Caesar, try to get more creative, try to find new content pieces and start experimenting. Joseph, give your page a review. Yeah, totally, man. Drop your username. Like if you just say, give my page a review, I don't know what page you have, man. Let's see. Last page review of the day. And again, if you guys want to invite like any other friends or people that you know to the community, if you think they could benefit from it, if you feel they need a change, then I think it could be good for them too. So, okay, good page. Let's see. A mindset W momentum. Funny name, but I do like it. Let's see, embrace mindset. Embrace. I think this was made with ChatGPT. I could be wrong, but what I would do is put the emojis in front of the thingy. And again, you want to get creative with this too, right? Like, let's say you see a bio that you like, simply put it in ChatGPT and say, I want you to write the exact same one, but I have a travel page. Think creatively, right, guys? Like, think limitlessly. 9 out of 10 people online, they're all fucking copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. What do you think news outlets are? News outlets are nothing more than a race to who can post it first. I'm not sure if you guys ever watched that like one movie. I'm not sure what it's called again, but it's like this news reporter that goes above and beyond to get like the best news, the best shots, the best whatever, gets paid a fuck ton of money for it. But I think he gets killed or something like that. And it kind of like shows a little bit of an insight in the news world. But yeah, pretty much the yeah, I got it right. The bio is created with ChatGPT. See, that's what you need my eye for. So again, it's good, but like this is what's needed, right? I can obviously give you more specific knowledge right now. So yeah, you can put your how do you say it, emojis like in front of it. Then let's see. The first thing that you have to understand with your brand is compare it with Coca-Cola. What does Coca-Cola do in their branding? Well, they have a few simple colors, for example, black, white, green, but they keep it consistent across everywhere, right? The more consistent you are, the more people like it in your content, in your style, in your branding, everything, right? People love routine. So if you can create a solid routine for them, right, it becomes very easy for them to actually like you. Same thing with, I don't know, me going to Friends, and every time I go to Friends and I wear something completely different, completely opposite of what I wore the day or the week before, I become that weird friend. But I will probably be less invited in terms of the amounts of time than someone who acts pretty much the same as them, because humans are based off of relatability. right? Your friends, people around you, everyone around you, it's all to do with relatability. They can relate to you in some way, shape, or form, or the opposite way around, right? It's an exchange. So yeah, I won't go too much into psychology right now, but pretty much, I like your name, I like your logo. I would make this a little bit bigger. The MM is also not centered. So if I go here, right here, like just put it a little bit below and then it's perfect. You can also make it a little bit bigger if you want to. Then make your highlights cover same color grading, change your bio and put the emoji in front of it. Then I like what you're doing with the content. The reason being is because you're trying things, right? Your content is all over the place. That's amazing, right? You're not afraid to let it suck. So that's perfect. And this is exactly what we need, right? Just take a look at this. This is a perfect example. 17 views, 7 views, and 3.2K. If you think very logically, that says it all, right? That says that you need to do less of this shit, and more of this shit, right? It's the same thing in finances, right? So pretty much for you, let's find another piece of content, 200, 200, 200. So your goal is to backtrack this piece of content. Where did you get it from? What page posted it? If you can still find it, that would be absolutely amazing. Then continue to post this type of style and try to really analyze the content piece. Is it more like in the 3 E's of content, you have educational, entertaining, and emotional, right? Is this more emotional? Is it more entertaining? Or is it more educational? Then you know within this style of content where someone's talking on a podcast like this, that you can stick to one of those specific routes, if that makes sense. So let's listen to it together as well to kind of find out if it is educational, emotional, or entertaining.
Going to lose sleep. You'll doubt whether it'll work. You'll stress to make ends meet. You won't finish your to-do list. You'll wonder whether you made the right call and have no way to know for years. This is what hard feels like, and that's okay. Everything worth doing is hard, and the more worth doing it is, the harder it is. The greater the payoff, the greater.
Yeah, blah, 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 hard work. So basically this, in terms of this piece of content, like it's more emotional. It's also a little bit sad, right? So that gives you like 3 nuances or 3 like key things that you want to look out for. Podcast clip of someone talking, high quality, sad, and emotional. Those are like the 4 key points. And then obviously if the numbers are good, right? The likes, the views, etc. You can visit like one video I put on my YouTube a while ago, and it is called, it's to do with the VRSA strategy. We go pretty much deep into it in the paid community, but there's this one video that I explained this exact strategy of like choosing viral content. Is this video all the way at the bottom, right? Discover the secret to going viral on Instagram. This was a mastermind session I actually did for a pretty good friend of mine.
I mentioned before, likes isn't everything, or views, or things.
This is VRSA, right? I'm not going to go into it now, but this is a methodology on how you choose your content, what aspects you look at to it, right? Viralities or numbers, likes, views, comments, etc. Recency, how recent it has been posted. The more recent, the better. The least recent, the worse. The style, right? We just analyzed the style of the content. So this is like the 4 things that I just mentioned, right? It's a podcast clip, it's sad, it's emotional, and it's a high quality clip, right? Those are like the 4 key standard points. And then the A of account, right? The account size that posted it. So let's say I post a content piece and I have 1 million followers. And let's say Roy posts the same content piece, but he has 1 follower. Then who do you think will reach more people on a standard basis? Me, right? Because I have 1 million followers and he has 1. Very logical. But what happens is, let's say Anna then collects the content piece from my account and I have 1 million followers. That means that you kind of have to take 1 million people off the amount of views, off of the amount of likes, if that makes sense, because the 1 million creates the basic foundation, the basis, right? So what does virality mean? Virality means, this is so key, new people reached. 3 words, new people reached, right? Let's say you have a content piece that an account of 1,000 followers posts, right? It has 1 million views. This means it reached 1,000 followers minus 1 million views. That amount, right? 999,000 new people. Does that make more sense to you guys? So the more followers a person has, the less new people it reaches. So let's say someone has 10 million followers and they get 5 million views. That isn't viral at all, right? The way you look at videos is like, oh, it has 5 million views, so it's viral. No, you want to look at who posted it, right? What is the size of the account? That's basically what account means. But you can watch the whole video. So long story short for you, do more of this, man. Do more of this. Let's take a look at like how many times you actually did it after you posted it, right? No anime. No. 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 It's all to do with mindset, motivation, etc. I'm not saying that you don't post good stuff, but there's a big difference between this and these 4 content pieces. You know it, I know it, and I just broke it down for you. So this is becoming your new direction. Try to become the fucking best in finding this style of content. Train your explore pages, train everything, right? Go into TikTok, make 1 billion new accounts to show you this content, right? You want to stop consuming, right? Everyone here who does content research, you are going to consume at the beginning. Highly likely, right? You're going to look at the video and you're going to be like, yeah, I like it, right? Don't do that, right? You chose your niche, you chose your topic. That is what you look for first. Then VRSA strategy, and you start experimenting. This page, Joseph, is the perfect example of a page that would look like to start, right? The funny thing is now you could like pretty much use the same foundation as you've created right now to continue to post more of this shit, right? Or you could simply start a new page again, all about this, right? So first, we're going to try to use the same thing that you built because you put effort into it, and I think it will still succeed. But post this shit, right? But also look at like this, look at the text style, right? Look at where it's placed, look at who said it, right? If let's say you're going to post someone who is pretty much completely opposite, right? Who talks about, I don't know, hustlers or whatever, right? But it has the same sad underlying foundation, it won't work as well. So your goal is to post more of this content, right? Stick to like 1 or 2 posts a day minimum. Try to understand more of why. Why did you choose this content piece to post, right? The more you can be like learn and understand and become aware of why you chose it, the more you will look at content differently. I can't open my phone right now and not have that fucking VRSA glasses, lenses, whatever you want to say it in front of me. Like I can't look at something normally. I analyze it like instantaneously. I look at the likes, doing. Like my eyes go exactly where it's needed to be. That's eventually where it will probably happen for you too. If you do this enough, right? It's the reps that you need to put in. So pretty much for you again, Joseph, go into that content piece, post more of it, and start experimenting with this. It's constantly an experimentation, right? You will probably never find the perfect version of it, but experiment with this content style now. And then next week we can go back to your page and we can pretty much like find an even bigger like nuance, right? Between this content style, the new ones you posted, and what's been working even better. Because it could also be that all these content pieces will flop, right? That you're going to post, but that means that you didn't align it well enough with this one, right? So it's a constant experimentation. If you approach it with that way, it becomes more fun. But this is a perfect page because you have 7 views and you have 3K. That is a fuck ton difference in percentages. Let's say 7 is 100%. Let's say you compare it with 3.2K, right? Like that's a lot of percent increase. So that's pretty much the page analysis, man. Love it, mate. You're awesome. Yeah, no worries, Joseph. No worries at all. So that's pretty much it for today's call. I want to leave it on a note that you guys have to really see the potential and the opportunity here to learn this skill. It will be overwhelming. It will be hard to understand, but if you commit to something like this and approach it with a long-term perspective, the amount of like potential that it has, and especially leverage, right? For me, leverage is super, super important. If I don't see leverage in something, I'm not going to put my time or money or whatever into it, right? If something can't go from 2 to 100, I'm not really going to do it, right? Same thing with a job. If I put 10 hours in, I get X, Y, and Z money back. That's no leverage, right? Over time, it doesn't go exponential, but with the page, it does. So it's the same thing with this skill, right? Last note I want to give you guys is paid ads. Companies pay marketers a buttload of money to pretty much get in the right people for their sales team. Without the marketing team, there is no business. Without the sales team, there is also no business. But the marketing team is where it starts, and also what allows the sales team to perform, right? Without the right people coming in as potential customers, doo-doo, right? Sales team's going to be wasting their time. They're going to be burning out. They're going to be running around with chickens without a head, right? So the whole point is what I'm trying to make, paid ads, right? Paid ads is literally a technical, like Facebook ads, for example. It's like you have to learn how to set up the ads, but where the money is in the visuals. How do you choose the correct visuals? It's this exact same thing as I'm teaching you right here with theme pages. Because you go on different accounts, you go on different approaches, you go on different competitor accounts, etc. You analyze the content. Did it perform well enough? VRSA, right? You can apply the exact same strategy on paid advertisements too. This means competitors steal each other's things 24/7. 24/7. There's only a handful of people who create original ideas. People in the marketing world, they always think like, oh, it's so much originality. No, it isn't. It's always spin-offs, right? You get something that worked before, give it a little spin, and now it works better or it works worse, right? Like it's either one of those two. So pretty much that's the last point I want to give you guys, that there's so much leverage in this. If you know how to create the best ads, you would just have to learn how to use the tool, and that's it, right? You become so fucking successful. Like how much power do you have when you can just make it a visual and you know that that will work? That's power, right? You know that that will go viral. That's power because you get eyeballs. Then the next challenge is, how do you sell and provide the correct product or service to the right people that you get in? So yeah, that's another story. I hope you guys really enjoy it. Appreciate your time. I'm going to be uploading this tomorrow or the day afterwards on the YouTube, but also in the school community as the replay. So you can find it there. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.
Thank you, Alex.
No worries, guys. Let it overwhelm you, and it's okay. Appreciate you. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.
You too. Thanks. Bye.